Welcome back to Dandrew. I'm Drew,
I'm Dan.
and let's continue talking about Star Wars.
It's been 5 minutes.
We're gonna shift gears, move over to awful Disney Plus, which isn't that awful.
I was gonna say.
Did you sign up for it right away?
No, I'm actually just piggybacking on my mom's because she was like,
Oh,
"You use ours." I'm like, "Yay, saving money."
We're piggybacking too. Suck it, Disney. You don't get any of our money. Once my friend Nick, shout out to Nick if you're watching this, he has Verizon Unlimited, which means he gets Disney Plus free for a year, and he can have 4 people on the account. So
nice.
He gave us the info, and my wife and I are still not sure if we're going to pay for it after that year is up. We're still unsure. Might do a free trial when the Kenobi series comes out. But
yeah.
Anyway, Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
How do you feel?
I love it.
Yeah?
I
What
think
did you watch them as they came out, or did you watch them all at once?
There was a couple me and my fiance watched all in one shot, but for the most part, yeah, once a week basically.
It was kind of interesting to go back to that. I've been kind of set in the Netflix way of just binge everything for a while.
I appreciated it a lot because I was like, okay, no, that makes me want to stick around a lot more for it.
Yeah.
But
it became a tradition. I got together with friends. I got together with family once a week, and we came together and watched.
Which I feel like for some people, that's what Star Wars is all about, bringing it together and just be like, because I feel like a lot of people are going to watch this and be like new Star Wars fans and be like, oh man, the Mandalorian was so cool. I wonder what the other stuff is like. They're going to be very shocked at what they find. But it's still
lots of garbage.
Lots of garbage.
Yeah. No, I was kind of on board with it from the beginning. I was a little unsure with the first couple episodes.
Yep.
I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. It's kind of mysterious, and I like that part of it. But once I realized that it was very individual stories per episode, that's what I think made me like it more.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's not really so much an overarching.
I've heard some people say that they thought it was just wasting time. I was like, no, this is par for the course. You're only noticing it because it's only 8 episodes as opposed to 20.
Yeah, and this is what a TV show is supposed to be.
You'd be amazed at how many fantastic series waste time. Between the main plot.
It's
Buffy the Vampire
journey.
Slayer, freaking Supernatural, all those shows. They all veer off into the weeds a little bit. But I like it. I like what this show does, and I especially like the whole Western vibe it gives.
Very Western.
It's great.
Yeah, I like that. Well, Netflix has kind of trained a lot of people that TV shows are actually just long movies.
Yeah.
That, it's one, we watched one movie, Living with Yourself with Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
That's basically just a 3-hour movie, and then they cut it up into episodes.
Yeah.
Where this is actually what a TV show was originally supposed to be. Was like an individual story.
Exactly.
Per episode.
Right.
And not every episode necessarily has to lead into the final plot because it's a series.
Exactly.
It's supposed to be little stories.
Yeah.
And the more, my family would come over and we'd meet up with friends to watch it at different people's houses, the more I was like, this is how Star Wars is meant to be.
Exactly.
This is the way you make Star Wars sustainable in the long term.
Right.
Because it's not Rise of Skywalker.
No.
This is how you wear everybody out really quickly.
Oh yeah. And this is a show that takes its time, it paced itself, it shows people little pockets of Star Wars that maybe they never realized before.
Right.
And this gets them hooked. I mean, how many people do you think this is going to be like their first real heavy exposure to something like that's not, the main trilogies or anything like that? It's it's beaten path, and here we are.
Right, and it's so refreshing to have Star Wars that is not like giant end of the universe or all the Jedi, all the Sith.
It's just small things.
Very small stories, which is super refreshing because
I like that, like in the what is it, episode 4 or whatever, we get to see an ATST actually be menacing and just and not get taken out by Ewoks.
That was one of my favorite episodes.
It was really good.
The whole conflict was just like this small gang of thugs got a hold of an ATST.
Yeah.
That's the main conflict. That's it.
They have superior firepower, but we have the numbers, and we're just trying to survive out here.
And they're basically training like Native American
like a little village. Yeah,
a little village of people that are just like, okay, here's your spears.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I liked that the Force is something that's very mysterious to most people, because it feels like it definitely takes place on like the fringes of the galaxy, and then you got these people who they watch something that they can't explain, basically just magic happen, and they're like, what the hell was that?
Right.
I like that Carl Weathers just trying to like survive. Baby, do the magic hand thing, baby. Waves.
Do the magic hand thing. That was great.
And I love learning more about this Mandalorian culture going on, because it's just so. And I think because you've told me before about how you would like to see a version of like the Jedi where they're not always like benevolent monks with laser swords.
Right.
And I believe that like at least in the greater canon. Legends, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, legends.
Like in the Mandalorian stories, the Jedi are kind of treated as more morally ambiguous.
Yeah.
And it's definitely, I feel like it's shaping up to show something like that. Especially with the last episode, just like,
true.
You expect me to go up against an unknown number of enemy sorcerers. It's just like, now there's a story idea.
Right, yeah. I think there were some issues I had with it. I mean, there's a lot of people praising it, so I'll go the opposite direction a little bit.
Let's hear the issues.
I think most of my issues were in the finale episode, because I felt like the dialogue was super clunky in some scenes. There was a lot of
that's fair.
There was a lot of, we need you, go on. No, go on without me. No, we need you. We're not leaving without you. Go on without.
Like you're the title character. We're not leaving you.
Yeah, it's like, we know there's going to be another season. You know, we know you're not going to die here. And then the robot says, I must go. Sacrifice myself. Yeah. No, we need you. No, I have to go. It's my prime.
Yeah.
You only got 40 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, wrap it up.
There's definitely some parts was like, was that necessary?
Yeah.
But it still felt solid to me, even beyond that. Like,
it's very well done.
When I look at something like Solo, I'm like, I could fall through this. There's so many holes. Yeah. When I look at something like The Mandalorian, I'm thinking to myself, there's some parts that don't make sense to me, but I'm still like, I can't think of them off the top of my head. But when I'm watching it, I'm like, it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like someone's throwing salt in my face.
Sure. And I feel like for the most part, you don't really know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Because it's not characters that are tied in directly to other movies.
Yeah.
Which I hope they continue with. Like, I don't want this show to get wrapped up into the Skywalker movies.
God,
I want them
please
to
no.
stay clear of those as much as possible. I did find it a little fan servicey in some episodes.
Yeah, but that's gonna happen whether you want it to or not.
I know it's got to happen, but I still get tired of it.
Yeah.
The episode they were on Tatooine.
Yeah,
it was getting a little too close to me. Like the shot that's the direct opening scene of A New Hope with the planet, and he flies right over, and then like what's that town called? Mos Eisley.
Mos Eisley.
They use the exact same framing.
Yeah.
Flying into it, I'm like, okay, I get it. I know what you're doing. I've seen the movie too.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to lean over and say, oh, that looks like that scene from A New Hope.
Yeah.
Remember A New Hope? Do you remember Star Wars?
Yeah.
Have you seen? I'm like, get away.
Stop it.
Move to the side a little bit.
I really appreciated like seeing the Tusken Raiders not just be murderous animals. Yeah. Like
that made me laugh at first.
I thought it was really funny. I was like, this is awesome. Well, I mean, I think it just kind of reinforces that Western vibe. Like you see in those old movies where it's like we have to cross to these natives' land.
Yeah.
Well, if I see them, then I'm going to have some words. All right, have some words then.
Yeah, they want your binoculars.
Yeah, they want exactly. It was really cool how they just kind of.
It was a very human moment.
It was a very human moment, and especially like the first freaking 5 minutes of the last episode. That was such a great human moment. 'Cause I feel like a lot of people just want to know what the day of the life of a stormtrooper is.
Yeah.
And we got to see that, and I love the description of it was, this is the most red versus blue thing I've ever seen in Star Wars, and I need more of it. I was like, yes!
Oh, I don't think Star Wars has ever intentionally made me laugh out loud as much as that stormtrooper interchange. Like, that was not me laughing at the movie.
I like that.
We were laughing with it.
I like that I've seen that scene with subtitles, and it's just blows raspberry.
Yeah. And my favorite part was when that guy sees the can and starts shooting, miss.
Shakes gun to see what's happening.
Other guy goes,
yeah,
can't hit that. Can't hit it either. And then they both just put it away. They're like, okay, we're done.
Oh God.
Oh, I laughed so much at that. That was the perfect show, not tell.
That was the perfect amount of just personality. Like, doesn't need to be there, but it makes it better all the same.
Yes, the use of can I look at it?
Like,
no, we got to keep it in the bag. Yeah, but you got to look at it. What are you talking about? I reached down and I swooped him and threw him right in the bag. I didn't even look at it.
It makes me think of, like, because I've been getting back into certain of the games in my library a little bit.
Yeah.
I've been playing, like, Dishonored.
Yes.
And there's just so many parts where, like, you watch it and you play it and you're like, they didn't need to put that in there.
No.
Like, there's just random bits of dialogue, and then you see something like this, and, like, they didn't need to put that there, but they did, because they knew it was good.
That was perfect.
It was very perfect.
I want more scenes like that.
Exactly.
Not too much. It's a good balance.
It's needed.
Yeah.
Anything from Moff Gideon? No, he just killed an officer who tried to interrupt him. Roger, standing by, still.
Trying to send a message.
Passive-aggressive.
I get that message.
Yeah. I love that they just had to call up Jason Sudeikis for that. Just like, do you want to be a stormtrooper? Yes!
Yes! Instant response. I love that it turns the stormtroopers into just guys looking for work.
Yeah, it does.
They're not like this blind army. They're like, look, we gotta get paid somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
This is pretty much all we know how to do. So
I love that.
That was very human. Other episodes that were good, the Bill Burr episode.
Yes.
I thought was really cool. That turned him into a...
Can we appreciate the moment? I feel like that's the first time anyone's ever actually used a regular, like, human slur in Star Wars. Because when I hear Bill Burr say wise ass, I was like, what'd you just say?
A little out of place.
It's really out of place, but I like it, because I'm like, it's a different section.
Could you buy Bill Burr in the Star Wars universe?
I did.
Yeah.
I totally bought that.
I did too. At first I thought it was going to be a little weird, but I got into it real quick.
I was like, this is awesome.
Because he was immediately like, I'm not a stormtrooper, you know. Like, yeah. He's a snipe shot. Like, he's actually...
A snipe shot.
Whatever it's called.
A sniper.
A
sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter. I'm sorry.
A snipe shot. That's what I'm going to call every sniper now.
I'm good with the words. I like this little... his second gun on his back.
Yeah.
Was cool.
I think it was his third, wasn't it?
His third, yeah. He
That's
had two
right.
in his hands. Mm-hmm. That was neat. And they also showed that even people in the Star Wars universe don't like guns. They like maybe he's a gun. Is that why you're so scared of? Or something like that. Like, he mocked them, and I was like, that's how you make guns useful for your plot, is you make fun of them.
Exactly.
They're like, people in this universe can't stand guns. That just felt like Bill Burr doing his own stand-up.
It probably was.
Like,
they were probably like, okay, listen, we want you to find something funny from the movies. Gungans! Okay, roll with it.
They probably saw a meme of the Mandalorian taking off his helmet and just Jar Jar being underneath. I was like, yeah, let's write that in the script.
I like one meme someone made where they pointed out that droid in the Bill Burr episode had, like, on his harness, he actually has Mosin Nagant pouches for, ammunition.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just can't stop thinking about some droid with a Mosin Nagant running around and just wondering where his pouches are. And it just shows a freaking droid from the Phantom Menace with a bolt-action rifle, just like, where are my pouches? And I love that.
Where are my pouches?
I love... Because this is just, like, small detail for me, being a gun guy, obviously. Mm-hmm. But, because throughout all the Star Wars movies, I think, all of the rifles, or the blasters and everything, that, like, the Imperial troopers or the clones have been using have been built off of a British submachine gun. I think it's like Sterling Mark III something.
Yeah.
And it brings me a small bit of joy when one of my favorite channels, Forgotten Weapons... If you haven't watched that, go watch it, people. It's a fantastic channel. Mm-hmm. It doesn't need my signal boosting, but it's so informative. But
I'm gonna get so many viewers now.
Yeah, I know. You're welcome, Ian McCullum. But there's one video he made just after the debut of The Mandalorian, where it's like the Mandalorian's blaster pistol is a 1898 Bergman, which I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Just thinking about, and I want to know, like, what his freaking rifle is, because I'm like, I bet you it's some ancient freaking old black powder gun there. Like, let's throw some futuristic crap on there and make it look really freaking awesome. What can this do? It can vaporize people. I like it.
Yeah. I like the whole episode with the Jawas just stealing his crap.
He just kills
a couple of them. Yeah, he's just chasing after them and they shoot him. And just little stories are wonderful. And I think that's what Star Wars needs more of. It's just a little episodes.
It does. It really does.
Once a week.
Little episodes, great production value, just good characters, first and foremost. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It just feels like a totally different section of the universe.
It does.
Which is such a refreshing thing. Because, I mean, outside of the movies, there's not a lot of people who just knowingly go into, like, the deeper lore that is no longer canon and be like, yes, I want to enjoy this. Like, you have to be a special kind of nerd.
Yeah.
Just like I'm probably a special kind of nerd for wanting to get into the Halo books and all that stuff and not just the games. You have to be a special kind of nerd to do that with Star Wars.
And in the same way, like, I could never get into the Clone Wars.
Exactly.
Just because it's animation and one episode's really dark and the next one's really childish and you have a hard time, like, getting into that. Whereas The Mandalorian doesn't have that barrier, I think.
Exactly. It's accessible to, I think, all ages, really. And it's one of those examples of dark being done well, like we were just saying with Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
You can do dark, but it's a very complicated formula. And I feel like in certain areas in The Mandalorian, they definitely do that. Because imagine being a kid watching this.
Oh, yeah.
And they're seeing that episode where they're going up against the bandits and it's krill farmers. They're like, they have a freaking ATST. It's just got red eyes. It's dark. You can't see anything.
Through the woods.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, that would be scary.
That is such an intense moment. And it works. It's dark without being, like, traumatizing. Oh my god, my kid needs to sleep in my bed tonight.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's just bad enough, but it can still be for all ages. But it's a very delicate balance they got there. And this is did you see Bryce Dallas Howard directed that episode?
Did she really?
With the ATST?
I was gonna say, I know that she was one of the directors.
I was surprised by that. And how did you feel about, you watched Breaking Bad, right?
I watched it just because I felt like I needed to see what was going on for, like, the cultural value of it.
Because they had Gus in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I was not expecting. I guess I saw it in the trailer, but the trailer left in my mind while I was watching it. I was like, oh, Gus is in this.
Yeah, exactly.
He's such a
like, formidable person.
If you haven't watched Breaking Bad, watch it, first of all. Second of all, that show is so grounded in reality. That it was so bizarre seeing.
See him in, like, this more fantasy western kind of setting.
He just plays a drug boss in Albuquerque. And in this one, he's flying a TIE fighter. Yeah. And it just felt so weird seeing him there, but in a good way. He pulled off a good performance.
He pulled off a great performance, yeah.
And I thought it was cool when he pulled out the dark saber.
Yeah.
Which I'd never seen in live action form. I've seen it it's been referenced in the Clone Wars and stuff, but I guess it's a little different for cartoons. But
yeah, exactly.
I did find that finale a little abrupt. You know, like he put the bomb on the TIE fighter, crashed. Okay, we're done. I was like,
yeah.
Have these guys never seen Star Wars? A ship crashing never means death.
Yeah, exactly.
No one ever dies when any ship.
I mean, they gotta have second season bait for some reason. It's clear
Of course.
It's clear they've got a whole series arc, I think, ready and waiting for this. Because it's like, we still have no idea what Baby Yoda's doing. We don't know what their plans are for it. Or him, I should say. How hilarious would it be if it just turns out that Baby Yoda's actually a girl and we're just over here like, it's a boy, it's a girl.
It's probably neither.
It's probably,
It's just a child.
It's just a child.
That's what it is. But I just hope they don't get too over the top with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of okay with there not being a lightsaber in this show.
Yeah.
And the fact that one kind of showed up at the very end, I was like, okay, use it rarely.
Very rarely.
Don't turn this into Phantom Menace, lightsaber duel.
Like, I don't even know if it was a lightsaber. I'm just like, it's just some weird looking freaking scimitar that's glowing.
It's a weird looking tool. That's enough.
Because it's like a lightsaber actually looks. This has its own distinctive, like, deal going on.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, it kind of. Going back to that whole Western aesthetic and vibe.
Yes.
Because I'm seeing this, like, border town in the Midwest somewhere. These are probably all like former Confederate soldiers that are just taking over the place. This is probably like an officer and that's like his cavalry saber.
Right.
Like he would just have like, if he's riding a space pony, and just like, take your head off.
Space pony. Yes.
And then that's what I got from it. I don't think they're going to go, I hope they don't go like the route of, yes, this is basically a functioning lightsaber.
I hope not. What I think would be cool is if the, what's his armor called again? Beskar. Maybe Beskar can stop the Darksaber.
Maybe.
So it's not as powerful as a lightsaber, but I don't know. I'm not in that.
I like the idea that he's going to keep collecting this very special kind of steel that he just continues to mold his armor. That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
and
it's super rare.
I like how practical the armor is. It's not like crazy weird because it's like, okay, it covers all the, important bits here. It covers this. He's got like gauntlets, I think, shoulder pad. I'm like, it's functioning. It's cool.
I saw some people suggest that maybe Boba Fett's gonna make an appearance.
I hope not.
For the armor or whatever, but no, I saw some people suggesting that he's climbing out of the Sarlacc pit. I don't want that.
No,
I'm fine with the only
Boba
reason.
Boba Fett was cool in small doses. Yeah. I don't need him anymore.
The only reason people thought he was cool was just his armor, and we have that.
We have that here.
You don't need another BS. He's not really dead moment. We've had too many of those in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Just let
Boba Fett kind of be in his own little section of the universe. Or just be dead.
Yeah, just let him be dead and let us move on with this character. Yeah. Because he's far more interesting. He's not just bounty hunter. He's actually got the armor.
He has a fleshed out character, and it's a religion.
Yes.
It's very cool. I love that.
I like that he doesn't want to take his helmet off.
Yeah.
Because I don't need a face to this
exactly, you really don't.
Character.
I was like, okay, we got the one shot of Din Djarin's face. That's all you need for a season.
That was fine.
That's probably all you need for the series, honestly.
It felt a lot like the Vader mask.
It felt very natural.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, it's just a guy,
just
moving on.
Some dude.
And then it goes back on. Moving on.
I love seeing I saw a video of that guy at a convention talking about it and how he was just like, no, so they brought me in the room and I got to see like all this concept art for the whole series, and he's just like, whoa, what do you want me to be?
Yeah.
Do you want me to be a robot or that bug? And Jon Favreau, the guy who made the show, is like, no, you're the Mandalorian. He got all like emotional about it.
Oh, wow.
Like that's you. And that guy is very cool. Like he's been in quite a few things. I mean, he was the guy, oh god, I can't remember his freaking name, but he was in Game of Thrones, so it's not like he's a lightweight. He's not just some random dude.
No.
But he does a very great job at just like, he described the Mandalorian as like Clint Eastwood with better technology. I was like, yes, that is exactly what he is.
That is good, yeah. Yeah, I really like the direction they're going with it. I just hope that, my big fear is that Disney's gonna course correct too much and do something bad for the second season.
I hope not, because I look at someone like Jon Favreau and I'm like, this is not a lightweight.
No.
He's been involved with the Iron Man movies, amongst other things. He knows what he's doing, so I'm watching this.
Give this man time to breathe.
Give this man time to breathe and time to do whatever the hell he wants.
You don't want to Iron Man to it,
No, exactly.
I don't think Jon Favreau is a bad director, but he has some slip ups every once in a while.
He has some questionable moments. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm like,
when he's on it though, he's freaking on it.
Right. I don't want a Lion King live action, and I don't want Iron Man 2. I just want more of season 1.
Exactly.
You don't have to go that much bigger. You don't have to get badder or anything. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Just keep the course.
Yes.
I'm honestly trying to think of bad things I would say about this show.
I thought the finale was the one I had the most.
I was going to say the finale seems kind of abrupt, but then again, we're talking about only 8 episodes. Of course, it's going to seem.
Yeah.
That's the same. It's the same problem I had with something like the first season of Jack Ryan. Because it was like being built up as like, yes, going to take on this Suleiman character, and in the end dies. He just get like spoilers. Yes, sorry, but no, like it's 8 seasons of like espionage and all kinds of stuff going on, and it just comes down to Jack Ryan getting a good shot at like 20 yards on him as he's running away. I was like, okay,
that's it.
Logical. Seems a bit abrupt, but whatever, dude.
That's it. It's over.
Yeah.
I was starting to feel a little bizarre that there was so much of the Empire still around.
Yeah. I feel like it's just the fringes kind of thing going on.
Like at first there were just a few stormtroopers that were protecting, this one guy. But then at the end there's like whole fleets coming in. I was like, I thought this was like New Republic time.
I was gonna say, I feel like these guys have probably been just operating under the radar as best they can because they're like, okay, we still have some tech. Like that TIE fighter that crashed, that was a huge freaking just setback for them. It's like, all right, now
they have a very limited amount.
We don't have Imperial funding anymore.
Yeah, they lost Imperial funding. The Death Star just exploded.
I like that they got Werner Herzog to play the client. And I was like, okay, so you're really going full on with the Nazi vibes. Cool.
Yeah, he had some interesting lines. Some made me laugh when he said, "Let me see the baby." And the Apollo Creed is like, it's sleeping right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, we will be very, very quiet. I think it's very cute.
Yeah.
He just had like the silly lines like that.
Oh God.
I'm kind of sad they killed him off.
Yeah, I wanted to know more about what was going on with him.
I liked his character. I wanted him to keep going.
I just like the smaller details that they show in this.
Yeah.
Like, just seeing the little backwater krill farmers just doing their thing, but just like
fishing,
living in huts.
Yeah.
But they still have like this crazy blaster tech going on.
Or there's like a bar fight going on with a Darth Maul species.
Yeah.
Like they had the little horns, but he wasn't painted. He just had the horns.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a nice little nod.
I don't know why, but it intrigued the hell out of me because I was thinking about it. But that first or second episode where like we see the scientist with the client and he's got like just regular spectacles, regular glasses. I was like, something about that stood out to me. Just like a little thing that I was
just
like...
Glasses.
Just glasses.
Yeah.
Just a normal freaking thing. Glasses.
Yeah. I thought...
I liked Cara Dune's character.
They had good... this is something other movies... The trilogy did not get very well. It was just like quotable lines like...
Yeah.
This is the way I have spoken. And just things you
I like those odds.
Everyone,
and stuff like that.
Or that's my line.
Slurp soup.
Yeah. Baby Yoda. They embraced the memes.
They're just like, yeah, we're going to go with it.
Baby Yoda was genius.
Baby Yoda was just the most intelligent marketing ploy I've ever seen.
They were like, how do we make something that everyone can universally like?
Yeah.
And that was it.
Just make a cute little Baby Yoda. People love Yoda. People love babies. Therefore...
What throws me off, though, is Baby Yoda existed during the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Because they said he's 50 years old, even though he's a baby. Mm-hmm. So that means he was around during A New Hope and stuff.
Yeah.
So during regular Yoda's lifetime, there was also Baby Yoda at some point. I don't know. They must have a high metachlorian count.
They must.
Good with Force stuff, but I wouldn't mind slight dips in the water of messing around with the Skywalkers and what they're doing at the time.
Yeah, I thought about that too, because it's very obvious that like there's like the Armorer knows like about the Jedi a little bit,
and the Skywalkers are at their peak right now.
They are.
Luke and Leia are alive and well. Mm-hmm. This, I believe, takes place pretty quickly after 6.
It's like 5 years after the Return of the Jedi.
So. You can have a baby Ben Solo at this point. You know, you can have a small run-in with Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
De-aged or something, or
like a little cameo.
Or something
like
small. I think would be cool. Just
I would like it. I would like it if it was like nothing really flashy. Like they don't actually talk to him, but like they go to this Jedi temple to like talk about stuff, and maybe there's something like that. And then like from across the room, Luke just sees the Mandalorian and they lock in eyes, just like, hey. How's it going?
Just look at him real
Walk
quick.
Away. Don't even like acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Just like...
That'd be really smooth and cool.
It would be very cool. Just like the Mandalorian just nodded at Luke Skywalker and didn't give a single damn.
Didn't care. They just glossed it off. Mandalorian just moving on.
I know, I'm sure they're probably just going to do 8 episodes again, but I hope they do like maybe 1 or 2 more. Mm-hmm. Just to round it out a little bit.
I think they will. They're getting a lot of success from that. I feel like this show is carrying the service at this point.
It really is. I mean, we still have an Obi-Wan Kenobi show to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm excited to see Ewan.
I feel like it'll be kind of the same deal, because they're like sort of the same deal. Because like a lot... fun fact about film: a lot of the like spaghetti westerns that we know today, they came from a samurai movie called Yojimbo.
Yep.
Yeah,
I know that.
Okay, so I just imagine like Obi-Wan's series being something kind of akin to that, in like a little desert border town, just doing his thing.
Right.
Like, I'm sure he's just like, I don't want to have any trouble, but he's still gonna have to lightsaber a couple dudes or do whatever he's got to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing it's something gonna be like that. But until then, Mandalorian, I think, is kind of carrying Disney Plus as a whole concept.
Right, and there's only so much you can do with the Obi-Wan series. Mm-hmm. You're kind of limited because you're like, well, he can't die.
Yeah.
And he has to stay on Tatooine for the most part. You can't really go very far.
Maybe if it was more like an exploration of his life, like in retrospect.
That's what I want to see. I want to see them go back.
I'd be really intrigued by that.
Go back to Obi-Wan's training with Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
That would be fascinating. Especially since we know they can get Liam Neeson back.
Oh, yeah.
They got his voice for episode 9. I was like, hey, why don't you get the whole dude back at that point? Or even Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
You could do some flashback scenes with that or something.
That would be really cool.
There's
we
potential.
could actually see some expansion on the stories that they talked about in like Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
That only happened once.
Yeah.
I would love to have seen that, George.
I will just say, I think I have more interest in Mandalorian because I think the time between episodes 6 and 7 is in dire need of more content than 3 and 4.
Yeah, because there's so much going on that it's just very confusing to think about. Like, where did the First Order come from? How did they
Rise to Power?
Like, I mean,
Knights of Ren.
I feel like we're probably going to see something like that. Like, it might just be a really small cog in the machine. Like, how in Rogue One, we saw that one part where Jyn Erso's dad was just like, I did what I had to do to buy time for the Resistance, so I built the Death Star with, like, a very critical flaw. And you're thinking to yourself, like, that's a small detail.
Yeah.
But it's a small, like, it's a huge linchpin, though.
Right.
Because even if it's, like that, because that's, like, a serious plot hole in A New Hope, right? And then here they come and they just, like, that whole movie wasn't even just a retcon. It was just, like, explaining why that makes sense now.
Right. No, the Rogue One was, the characters were a little flat.
Oh, yeah.
But they all die at the end, and they didn't have to plan it with a sequel in mind, which was refreshing.
They just did it for fun.
Yeah, they were just like, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna explore some new ideas. We can get Vader back,
and Mandalorian gets to do the same thing. New ideas, get to explore more deep parts of the universe,
but with more longevity, because you're not ending it 3 seconds before New Hope. So, and I hope Mandalorian never does that with The Force Awakens. Like, I don't want it to end right at the last minute before, I don't know, Rey gets dropped off on Jakku. Like, don't bring that up.
Don't. It should be its own thing. Bookend it with its own thing. Like, I like
your Luke Skywalker cameo is probably my number one request now. I just want a throwaway shot. Because I'm sure there's a ton of people that are like, oh, now they get to meet up with the Jedi, and then we can just explore the Jedi Temple, and Luke Skywalker can fight, Gus from Breaking Bad or whatever. And I forget his name in the show already, but
Moff Gideon.
Yes, Moff Gideon. And I just want the most throwaway, like, careless, like, we know they exist and we're not going that way.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like, I'd be totally fine if there's, like, some random freaking fight and Mandalorian's just, like, got two guns and his flames are already on several, like, apprentices. And Luke's just like, guys, stop. What do you want? I need this information. It's over there. Get out of my lawn.
Right. Get off.
And then that's it. That's all you see. That's the most talking that should occur.
You know the Irishman de-aging? Do that with Mark Hamill, Just make him look a little younger.
I have not watched Irishman yet, actually.
I haven't either, but I just know there's de-aging tech in that. They can do a young Mark Hamill.
They can do that.
The guy who plays Bucky in Captain America.
Yeah.
He looks a lot like Luke.
Yeah, he does, actually.
You could merge the two pretty closely. I've seen deep fakes.
He could be a stand-in, so they have someone to, like, lay the face over.
Yeah. No, it could be done. Totally. Not overdone. Not a returning character, but just a little throwaway.
Yep.
Would be funny.
There you go.
And just more little stories. That's the way to do it. Disney, you're on the right track.
You're on the right track.
Don't ruin it.
Don't screw it up. Like, okay, if a season's not as good as a certain season, that happens.
It happens.
We saw that with Stranger Things.
Yeah.
First season, great. Second season, all right. Then third season, I feel like
they course corrected.
They course corrected and made it fun again.
I liked the third season, not as much as the first, but much better than the second.
It's still really fun.
It felt like
it gets silly, but at the same time, you feel like it's a natural like evolution. At least I do.
Basically, take the people who made the Marvel universe and give them Star Wars now.
Yeah.
Marvel's kind of...
Yes, call Kevin Feige.
Yes, I think he is. I think he is taking over.
Probably is.
I saw news of that.
Get the Russo brothers.
I know Kathleen Kennedy's on her way out.
That's good.
I read those reports.
That's
and I was
good.
Like, that's a good idea because I saw the box office for episode 9. It was
pretty bad.
Very mild. I mean, it wasn't Solo bad, but it was...
Yeah.
For a Star Wars film.
It nosedived.
Yeah, compared to The Force Awakens, which got $2 billion. At the time of recording this, 9 has yet to hit $1 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not.
There's no signs of it increasing.
No, it's not. It's not going up. So
yeah,
they've shown that they know how to overdo Star Wars and get everyone's interest gone away. But Mandalorian is a great way to make it feel more real. The whole fundamental of Mandalorian is less is more.
There you go. Exactly.
Don't need a face.
Small pockets.
Don't need an actor, to perform.
We know there's a guy in there. We saw his face once.
That's it.
That's all we need.
And we don't need giant war scenes. We just have one ATST. That's one TIE fighter.
Just one ATST and some flashbacks of a battle. Oh god, I can't stop coughing today. And just, I like that they kind of tied it back to that section of the Star Wars universe for a little bit, because I was like, you know what, that actually feels natural, because this kid probably would be alive during that time. So I was like, you know what, cool, that actually is that's a logical chain right there. I like it.
What I have a pitch for your ankle.
That was my ankle. Just popped.
Oh, shoot.
Anyway,
I have a pitch for a Mandalorian episode. Ooh. Because I know there's a lot of fanboys that just want lightsabers.
Yeah,
there's not enough lightsabers. That's what the polls are showing.
Yeah.
We have a severe demand for lightsabers. So you don't do Jedi, you don't do Sith. I know Palpatine's technically alive, but
somehow
don't bring them into it. What I think is that you should have a whole episode based on some jerk, some fat drunk guy at the bar happened to find a lightsaber.
Yeah.
From some leftover Jedi.
Yeah.
Or some dead Sith. I don't care. He found Palpatine's doesn't matter whose lightsaber it is.
Just a lightsaber.
He just found one and he's causing havoc in the city.
Yeah.
It's like a little western town. He's at the saloon and Mandalorian's gotta swing open the doors because there's this one...
This sounds awesome.
One drunk guy who found a lightsaber and he's basically deciding he runs the town because if anyone tries to stand up to him, just pulls out the saber and no one wants to touch him. He's not a Jedi, he's not Force sensitive, he's just got a powerful weapon and Mandalorian's job is basically get it away from him and give it back to the people.
Yeah.
So he drops it off at the Jedi temple.
Yeah.
And that's where you have
that's where he meets Luke Skywalker.
Little Luke cameo, done. End of episode.
Just like, I think this belongs to you.
Yeah.
It's just like, thank you. And then I love that theme.
Soundtrack's wonderful.
It's like, it's so... Everything about it just screams a fistful of dollars, and I'm about it.
Yeah. I love that fight scene he had with the big guy at the boss.
Yeah.
He keeps hitting him, and he keeps getting up, and he drops
Clancy Brown's a very active actor. I never realized that.
Yeah, he is.
I thought to myself, I was like, okay, at least in the 80s this makes sense, but he's how old now doing this? Good for you, dude.
I love that shot when he dropped the door on him.
Yes!
And you're like, oh, okay, he got him. But then he starts lifting it up, and he's like, no.
Then, smash the face.
Then the second wave of door.
I really liked when Bill Burr's looking for him. He's just stealth shadows.
Yeah, that reminded me of Chris Nolan Batman. Of just he's there 1 second, he's gone the next. I was like, that's what I want. Batman in space.
Batman in space with guns.
And get Chris Nolan for it or something.
Oh God! Imagine that episode. But yes, that is the Mandalorian.
More of Mandalorian, please.
Please, yes.
Don't mess this up.
Again.
Listen to your fans.
There you go.
Listen to Jon Favreau, probably.
Yes.
Keep it small. Realize what's working. Hang on to it. I think that's it.
I think so too.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching.
Adios,
have a good day.
guys.
Bye-bye.